Kawasaki lets the good times roll. Kawasaki lets the good times roll. Get aboard, get away, and you're gonna say, let the good times roll. Kawasaki lets the good times roll. Kawasaki lets the good times roll.
Right, I'm going to drop the front mud guard off. I can't see what's going on here unless that's pulling it in. Should now, in theory, just drop out. So, yeah, my I Spy book of KH maintenance isn't very good for the S1C. It just says that you undo, slide the spindle out and the wheel drops out. Well, yeah, that's not quite right unless it's sort of just hanging in a bit. It's off. I've got to have a look inside. I'm so intrigued to see what's inside here. Looking good. There's a lot of meat on those brake pads, but I'm tempted to replace those just for the fact that they're like 20 odd year old brake bindings. I don't fancy doing like 60-70 mile an hour and pulling on those to stop. There's a lot of brake dust inside there, so we get some brake cleaner and clean all that out, and then we get a new tyre on. We can clean all this up as well, and go after this rim, try and get all this rust off. There's chrome under there. Try and clean the spokes up a bit, make them look a little bit better as well. Everything will look good. But look, looking in a right old sorry state from when we started earlier, isn't it? This is what you've got to do. And the angle of these forks is definitely pushed in, so that tree at the top is definitely not right. It's forced the forks out at the top. So I've still got to get these forks out, but we're a hell of a lot further down than what we were now, so that's really good. So we're definitely making some good progress here today. So work's rolled on a bit. I've taken the 2 bolts out of, well, here, I'm taking that one out. The 2 bolts out of here to free up the forks there. I've got this centre bolt up. I'm just undoing this last one here, but at the moment I can't get the legs of the forks off the bike. So, and the other thing that's bugging me at the moment is, look, this. That would seem to indicate either this is bent up or it's not pushed down as far. So, yeah, I don't know. So we'll have to have a look. Right, so I've loosened it off. I've got the little mallet. We're just tapping it up. That should get this top off. I'm wondering if this top's bent. It's coming off level. Right, I've hit the top of the bolt. Oh, and it's about a 27mm nut on the top here. Yeah, it's this big thing here. 27mm. I've got to be careful, because if the bottom tree falls out, then all my bearings and everything are going to come out. So I'm just going to leave that just nipped in a tiny bit. We'll carry on tapping. Yeah, it looks really good now. Oh, come on, nearly there. Right, there's no return now. Oh, I think what I've done, of course, I've tapped up here. I haven't. Whoa, there it is. Right, one tree. Oh, still got my handlebars attached. No, I haven't got my handlebars attached. It's been caught there. So, I'm still intrigued as to whether that's actually bent or not. Yeah, I think it is. I'm going to put a level across there or something. But I think the tree is bent. I've got my new one over here to go on, so I think rather than take all the bottom bit out, I'll crank this off. See, that's what I'm missing as well. I haven't got the big washer. I've just got the big nut. So that weren't helping either. Well, there's two on there. Oh, we'll have that for a start. Actually, I think I'm going to clean all this up. Right, let me get cleaned up and greased up and do all of what I need to do. The other thing I've just noticed, I haven't got the handlebar risers, so I'm going to have to transfer them over onto this. So I'm going to clean all this up, as I say, get it all nice. I'll come back when that's done. That will take me a while though. Right, so we got down to the bare tree. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop this out, take all the bearings out, and I'm going to put the whole new tree and bottom bracket. I've got the bit sitting over there with the new top, and I'm going to put the whole lot in, and we'll have a complete new front end then. I've got to undo these and swap these over. I don't know what I've done with the other. Oh, it's here. So I'm giving that a bit of a clean. It's not coming up too bad. Compared to the other one. Then we'll swap it all over, get these out, and I think when I take this out, I think there's all ball bearings and things in here that can fall out, so I'm going to have a bucket or something underneath to try and catch them. I think they're all in the top here. I've never taken that out before, so this is going to be new territory for me. What I need to do is go and get some cable ties and cable tie up before I do go in tonight, the speedo and the headlamp somewhere around here, so they're not just dropping on the floor. So this is one of my replacement forks. Even that's badly putted, but I want to get out this section because I'm going to send it away to be re-hard chromed. So I've got to completely strip the forks down. But one thing I can show you, you can see they're a really nice operating fork, so there's nothing wrong with them. Now normally on forks there's an Allen bolt at the bottom here that you have to disconnect because it's connected to the damper rod inside, but there isn't on here. What I've got is this little Phillips screw, and that is the drain screw for the oil. So what I've got to do is drain the oil out of this. I've also got to undo this nut at the top. Now I think it's probably going to be about a 19mm. Let's see what we can find. Well, I've just found the spanner that fits, and it's a 22mm. So I need to try and crack the top of that off. So let me get this sort of held down and we'll give it a twist and see if we can move it. It won't come undone. This is sea solid. I might have to put this back up in the tree of the original bit and clamp round it to hold it, then try and undo this. That's what you normally do, but obviously this was off. I thought it might be loose. Right, back to the drawing board. Right, so it's temporarily back in the tree. Let's see whether we can get enough just... Yeah, it's loose. Perfect. Right, that's worked. So we'll do the same with the other one, and then we should be okay. Right, let's get this back out of here. Oh, Jesus. That's one. Where's the other fork? Ah, here. I'll do the same again with the other one. Do it on that rusty bit because it's going to be re-chromed. rubber mallet, which has now done a runner. And 22mm. Lovely. And it's all loose again. So that method worked really well. There we go. Job's a good one. Right, let me get back on the bench. So looking at all the variations of the front forks, it's more than apparent that there's about 10 or 12 different variants. And although I thought I'd lost some pieces a while back, I'm not overly sure. So what I've done, I've come across some rubber washers online, and I think it's these that I'm missing, which actually go underneath this and give you a bit of adjustment on the height and clamp both of the headlamp arms onto the forks. But what it is, I could only get these off eBay, they're just standard rubber washers, and I need to open up this centre thing for it to fit over the shocks. So what I've done is I've taken the chrome ring that I had, I'm laying it over the top of the rubber and centralising it as best I can, and then I'm drawing with a pen around the opening on the inside to give myself a guideline, like so, and then you can see in the light, and then with the aid of my scalpel I'm running it round here like so, cutting it out, and then from that I end up with that, and that fits perfectly onto the forks. What's the best angle for you to see? It's probably here. So I'm just putting a bit of pressure on, running around this pen mark like so with the scalpel. Keep it so I can follow the line so I can still see it. Right, and we pop the inner out like so, and then we've made a gasket fork cover, Kawasaki part number 44045-039, which are unobtainium. So I've got one more to do, and then I've got 4. And when we put the forks back together, we've got the unobtainium parts that potentially all we need. I'll put details up as I always do at the end of what parts I've used. Hopefully if it works, you can do the same. Make yourself the unobtainium. Why just a rubber washer is not available anymore, I have no idea. Maybe most people don't remove their headlamp brackets or their front forks, but considering the amount that are being restored, you would think they do. But I find it rather strange that I would have chucked away these rubber gaskets, unless at the time when I had the forks off they were unobtainium and I couldn't get them. So I just put it back together. Right, oh, hang on, I'm just going to smarten that corner up a bit. I'll be careful here, I'll end up with no fingers. There we are. Right, so there is the 4 unobtainium parts. If I put that in there, you can see through. It's quite a nice fit, so that'll be perfect. Right, let's get these on, and once they're on and clamped up, and that's clamped down there, and then I can always run the knife around and trim them up if I want to. But right, job's a good one. I meant to say, if parts are unavailable for your bike, then you have to get inventive. And what you can do is just go into eBay and type in universal and then add in the part that you want, and 9 times out of 10 there is a universal part, but for this part they are not available. Well, actually, tell a lie, I did see some, but it was about £35 for each one of these. So that would be £140 sitting there for 4 rubber washers, just because they were genuine Kawasaki parts. Really? So yeah, so I'm going to go and put this back in the garage so I know where that is. These are going to go in the bag, and then when I get to that stage I've got those. The other bit I do need to get that goes underneath here is I now need to get some metal washers the same size to clamp that together and make a sandwich between the two. So that's my next thing to do, is get onto Fleabay and try and find some metal washers of that size. Right, so what I'm going to attempt to do is undo this little screw at the bottom here. We'll attempt to drain some of the oil out. I don't know how quick or how fast it's going to come out. Now I don't actually know there's actually any oil in here, because obviously these were second-hand forks. At the moment there's none coming out. Oh, hang on, there is some. It's very thick. I'm going to have to rig something up. I can't sit here holding that. I don't know if you can see that dripping down there. Well, there's not a lot coming out of there. I think I'll put the screw back in. I think what I'm going to do is take the fault apart at the top, tip the oil out from up there, if I can get this damn screw back in again, and I can't. Oh. That's not right. Hang on, I'll have to do this off camera. That is really fiddly. Right, now there's a massive spring running up the side in there that's under tension. Now this could come out, take the top of your head off if you're not careful. So I'm putting a rag here so that if it does come off, it can't go in my face. That's my plan anyway. Although the way this is going at the moment, I'm not sure that's going to happen. Sometimes they like fly off and explode. Sometimes they're not too bad. You can see it's lifting up here. There's quite a lot of thread down in there. I don't want to be too near it when it goes. I've also got to be a bit careful when I'm doing this, because otherwise I can damage the threads when you get the initial jolt of the thing coming off. And I imagine this is going to be under quite a bit of pressure in here. Alright, it's coming. Here it comes. Here it comes. God, it's so long. Right, it's off. There we go. Right, we'll tip the oil out now and see what we get now that that comes out of there.
Kawasaki lets the good times roll.